So can anything go wrong after the close of escrow? The answer may surprise you. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you. So can anything go wrong after the close of escrow? The answer is yes. Let me show you a file that we just completed, a recorded sale. This is the file that went along with the closed sale. I represented the seller in a transaction number 2 in Laguna Niguel. We just closed at 1.8 million, full price offers in 30 days. So everything is done. Sellers received their proceeds, buyer received their keys. What could possibly go wrong now? The most common thing to go wrong after the close of escrow always has to do with failure to disclose, where the seller did not tell the buyer something about the property, where the buyer now has a grievance, typically associated with repairs, needed repairs, or something that affects the value of the property or the perceived value of the property in the eyes of the buyer. Hardly ever do we have a complaint after the close of escrow where the seller chases the buyer. It's almost always where the buyer chases the seller for something that was not disclosed during that disclosure period of the escrow. Typical escrows are about 30 days. Typical windows of disclosure are the first half, let's say 15 to 17 days. There's a point within the contract where the buyer is satisfied with all the disclosures and removes the property condition contingency, where the seller believes now we're over the hump and we're headed for the close of escrow, and typically we do. But after the close of escrow, after that honeymoon period of excitement where the buyer will receive any bad news and be able to deal with it, the smallest chip in the sink after the close of escrow that was talked about by the nosy neighbor next door will trigger the buyer to have a larger than reality complaint against the seller. It always happens that way. So as the listing agent, I guide my clients, the sellers, through the disclosure process so that we disclose everything. Anything that could disrupt the value, the perceived value in the eyes of the buyer, or future repairs based on failure to disclose. Those are the two big ones that we have our eyes out for. So very important process is that disclosure package that your agent will have sent to you. We send it out very early in the transaction to our sellers, and the sellers complete many, many forms, all having to do with some facet of disclosure. That is a very important process in the escrow period, something that I do guide my clients through very carefully, because all of the problems after the close of escrow are where the buyer believes a failure to disclose was committed by the seller. So I hope this helps. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like, please comment. It helps me grow the channel and helps others like you get the important information that I share. Randy Ora with Berkshire Hathaway, changing lives one home at a time.